All right, over to Canada. Oh, Canada. I don't know the rest of the words.
That's okay.
Mark Dos Santos takes Vancouver into his second season, looking for back-to-back playoff appearances after finishing sixth in the West, 12, 9, and 13 with 49 points. Projected 11 based off of their formation last year. Thomas Hasal, either Blackman or Javian Brown, Youngworth, Godoy, or Veselinovic, Gutierrez in a back four. So that back four, the question of who's going to be in there, I wouldn't be shocked to see Youngworth dropped for Blackman as a center back and then Brown play right back as well. But
Got Nervinsky in there too.
oh, that's right, Jake Nowitzki. He'll probably flip out on the left back, right?
It's funny. I feel like they're pretty deep in the back line, but I don't feel like anybody's really that great.
It's like being deep at a C team level.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Gutierrez, but that's about it.
Javian Brown was really good too last
Oh
year.
yes, yes, yes. Brown was pretty good last season too. Yeah, and I think
And then
Nowitzki pretty good. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
in the middle, Russell Tybert and either Michael Baldizimo or a healthy Chow Alexander, if he still exists. They bought that man for $13 million. And I literally did not hear his name once all year. I know he was hurt in the
Yeah,
back end, but come on, really?
yeah, that
Uh,
was not a good signing. At least so far.
not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Ryan,
So far, not good, but still time.
Ryan Gaul playing in the number 10 role with Dejome Caicedo flanking our Lord and Savior Brian White. What do you think? You think? I know we just kind of talked about it, but anything else you would change in that front six?
No, probably not. But I think if Brian White struggles to start the year, would not surprise me if they pull the plug on him quickly and go back to Cavallini.
I mean, they just signed him to a 4-year contract extension. I'm assuming they'll give him a little bit of time.
Yeah, I'm sure, but it's not like there's a lot of talent sitting right behind him, so there's not like a probably a super long leash for him.
No, I get that. Really, they didn't do a lot of movement this window. Not a lot of people coming in. They brought Blackman in, and Crepeau left, but he's replaced by Hasal. They didn't get better. They didn't get worse. They didn't really do anything.
I think they got worse.
Because you don't like Blackman, I get it, but like
it's not just about Blackman, but
they lost your best friend in Max Crepeau. I know.
I don't think that. I think Hasal has the potential, but I just don't think he's at Crepeau's level. So I think it's at the moment a downgrade in goal.
Did you not watch MLS's back?
What you want to tell me that it's like a 3-game sample?
If we're gonna say Gago Slonina gets a move to Juve after existing in Chicago's goal for 9 games, then yes, I'm gonna say Thomas Hasal after 4 games is at the same level of Maxime Crepeau.
He's not at the same level as Crepeau, but
yeah, nobody can be the same level as Maxime Crepeau. That's literally what you just sounded like. What do they need then? If you're not sold on these guys, what do they need?
I think they need a dominant center back. I want to see
Dorian Youngworth. Excuse me.
Settle down over there, all right? I know you're number one on the Florian Youngworth hype train, but let's relax.
Please no.
I want to say, were they playing a back 5 at some point last season?
They went into a back 5 at some point, but I think with the players that they've got, it makes more sense to do back 4. But they did. They went Veselinovic, Youngworth, and Godoy.
Yeah, I think they need like an Aaron Long type of center back. Obviously hard to get these guys because it's rare, but like Walker Zimmerman type, a Miles Robbins type, a Yamar, like just some big name dominant center back to really like help lock it down, help Hasal make the transition into being the starter. I worry about the back line for them. I just feel like there's some decent guys in the back line, but I I'm concerned that it might be leaky. I just think that's their weak spot at the moment.
Yeah. For me, if you look at this roster, they've got one goalkeeper, and they've got a history of injured goalkeepers, so they better fix that. And they've only got one left back. Or I mean, you could play Javen Brown out there. I'm sure you could play Nerwinski on that side too, but I would reckon they'd probably go get one other person who could play on that side. Center mid depth is okay. Seb Berhalter coming in is a pretty decent pickup, I think, for the depth part of it. Striker depth: Cavallini, Brian White, David Egbo, Acedo and Raposo on the wings with Dejome and Habibullah, which I think is a draft pick, if I remember correctly. They're good pretty much all over the place in terms of depth, I think. But man, I would not go into a season with one goalkeeper on roster.
Well, technically on here right now, they have Evan Newton. He's currently loaned out according to this, but he is the only other goalkeeper on this roster.
Yeah, I'm on transfer market. They take the loans out, so they better call him back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go pick at the Canadian Premier League and just take somebody to be a backup, you know. Blackman is one of two people who was brought in, and he's probably the one who's going to get time, so he's my best addition. And I'm really going to sit here and wait for you to tell me that Tristan Blackman's their best addition.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other option than bring anything else in.
That's great.
I think their first round draft pick is actually their best addition, whoever that was.
Maxime Crepeau, obviously the biggest loss, but I don't even think that's awful.
I'm not going to say anything. You just keep going.
Ryan Gauld's my player to watch. He had, when he came in the back half of 2021, he basically pulled this team into the playoffs with Brian White. Is he going to continue that, or is he going to pull a Kaku and just disappear into existence?
My player to watch is Daibar Caicedo.
Wrong. It's Brian White.
No. I think everybody's watching Brian White. We've been over this before when I said Alex Muil.
Red Bull makes the world watches.
Daibar Caicedo is my one to watch. I think he could be super exciting and fun to watch on the wing. Definitely had bits where he showed some strong potential last season. So I think maybe hopefully now a year settled into the league, maybe feels a bit more comfortable, a bit more used to the play style. So be keeping an eye on him.
Good. What's the biggest question?
I think my biggest question is, can they keep the momentum that they had at the end of last season? Because they struggled at the beginning of the season, then got hot towards the middle and stayed hot towards the end, and were able to sneak into the playoffs. Can they keep that momentum? You know, can Brian White stay hot? Can Ryan Gauld stay hot? Can they manage to keep it together in the back? Or is it going to fall apart and kind of go back to the old Vancouver that we've known?
Brian White needs to cool down because he is so on fire. He's literally melting the polar ice caps right now. When you play in Vancouver, that's a risk you take, but like,
good analogy. I like that.
I thought of it just now.
They're just going to be called Vancouver after you. Well,
there's no Whitecaps anymore. They're just Vancouver Caps.
Yeah, they'll just be Vancouver FC.
For me, it's Hasal up to the task, right? He was very, very good, and when he played in about 7 games when Crepeau went to international duty last year and was okay. He was all right. Is he up for a full season of being the number one? I think he is, but that's the big question for me. Where do they finish, Connor?
I can't say that they make the magic again and make the playoffs. I feel like I'm thinking, oh man, I can't say for sure, but I'm kind of leaning towards maybe like 9 to 12 range.
Oh, That's harsh.
Sorry.
I have them 7 to 10. I think they're kind of like Red Bull, just in or just out. But I think that low is a bit harsh when teams like San Jose exist.
Yeah, well, that's why San Jose's finishing at the bottom.